Hey, good evening, everybody. So, in this video, I'm going to talk about hardness of heart. Um, so, first of all, imagine with me a box that is just like floating in space. And there is somebody inside of that box. And that person being inside the box can only see the walls, the ceiling, and the floor inside the box. Um, in their mind, there's nothing else on the outside of it. And that represents sometimes when people think certain things, uh, they um, they tend to not want to go outside the box with their thoughts because they know that they're right, and they know that there's nothing else outside the box because they can see everything inside the box. There's no entrance, there's no exits. So if anybody was to present something that exists outside the box, they would immediately be labeled crazy because that person knows for a fact that it's not there. So the interesting thing is when you come up to a debate with somebody about something that you might know that is outside that is actually outside of the box. um, Sometimes people well, they have a hard time receiving it, and the reason why is because they're not on the same level, they're not on the same plane as you are. And so what's interesting is you can have compassion on them and patience. Why? Because to them it really is truth. It really is real, right? Take. There's only one way to Jesus, for instance. Believing in Him is the way to heaven. There's other people that believe that that you can go through Mary or Muhammad or Allah or all these. There's all these different angles that people believe, and they'll do certain things according to their beliefs. So so what's interesting is how do you show them that they're inside the box and demonstrate to them that they can actually open it or make the left wall disappear, the right wall, the ceiling, the floor, get completely out of the box to be able to actually see the reality of all the things that are around them. So um, check this out. Imagine with me a cottage, okay? There's a cottage and there's a flower bed in front of that cottage, and there's a person that lives inside of it that you know of, that you want to share a gift with. Um, and so you walk along the path and you have this big gift in your hand and you want to give it to him so bad. Um, and the person's in their cottage, and you walk up to the door and you start knocking. No answer. You're like, okay, no, knock again. So you knock again, no answer. So you're like kind of discouraged. You have this big gift that you want to give, but no way into the cottage. And so you're like, I guess if they're not going to come out, I'm just going to wait out here. But I'm going to do something nice for them. I'm going to work in their garden. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to work in their garden. So you put down your gift and you go in their garden and you get to work. You start working on it, and you make their garden start to look beautiful. You start pulling the weeds out and, well, gardening. So one day, that person goes out to check their mail, and they see you in the garden. They're like, "Why are you working in my garden?" And they're thinking this to themselves, right? They're not saying it yet. They're just looking at you kind of strange. And so they check their mail. They go back in the house, lock the door, um, and they're sitting in there watching TV or doing whatever they're doing, reading a book, and they can't help but think about this person working in their garden. They're like, well, it's really nice of them to work in it, but why? Why are they working in it? And so they decide to get up and open the door, but they don't open the door until they put the chain lock on. So they put the chain lock on, they open the door just a little bit so that they can peek in there, and they say, "Hey, you in the garden? Yeah? Why are you working in my garden?" Um, well, because I thought I would like to, I'd like to help you out. I saw that it needed some work, and um, and and I'm overjoyed to be able to work in it to help you out. And they're like, "Really?" Yeah. So they're like, "Okay." So they shut the door. You're still working in the garden. Um, you do get lunch breaks and 2 tenths or 15. No, just kidding. Anyway, so they go back in the house, and they're moved with compassion inside their heart. And so now, well, they unlock the chain lock and they open the door completely. And they say, "Sir, won't you please come inside, and so that we can have a talk, so that we can talk to each other, get to know each other?" And you say, "I would love to." And at that time, when the door is open wide enough, you can take your gift, your big gift, in with you. It's when someone opens up their heart to invite you in, and it is through love that this takes place. Jesus says, "I stand at the door and knock." To those who want to know me, they open the door for me, and they let me into their heart, and they will sup with me, and I with them. So it's kind of the same way um, with salvation, but it's also the same way with being able to get around a hard heart. Love them. If you love them, you'll win them over. Don't have any expectations for them to do certain things or whatever. Just love them, and they'll be sitting in there like, "Why is this person doing this?" And eventually, you'll make it into their heart, and they'll see the light of the love of the Lord shining through you. Grace and peace.